Good morning, y'all. We got really lucky this morning that there was a cute little diner next door called the Waffles Cafe. So we stopped by there this morning for a delicious breakfast before packing up the bikes and hitting the road. We hopped right back on I-82 and of course hit a ton of wind first thing. Levi was cursing this trip and the wind, and I'm pretty sure he was just questioning the whole thing. It wasn't long though before the wind died down and it became more enjoyable as we cruised through this desert. However, what we didn't know is what came after the desert. As the landscape changes from desert to rainforest in just one tank of gas, we make our way down I-90 into the Cascades. They're known as the spine of the Pacific Northwest, and they're also volcanic. Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, and even Snoqualmie all owe their looks to lava. It felt like I was riding into an enchanted forest. The mountains jutting above the clouds, the light rain coming down all around us, I couldn't help but just cruise and take it all in. Though only 3,000 feet in elevation, Snoqualmie Pass is one of the snowiest places in the lower 48. It averages 400 to 500 inches of snow per year, and even in the summer, thick fog, clouds, and heavy rain can roll in fast as the Pacific air hits the Cascade Range. This section of road was originally used by natives and then turned into a wagon road in the 1800s to what it now is today. I can only imagine what the people of our history had to endure, knowing that snow poles as tall as 12 feet are installed along the roadway. This is to guide snowplows through rough winters. As we drop down off the pass, we find ourselves in a small town on the outskirts of the city, with a very specific stop in mind. Across the globe, you may find beautifully crafted trolls by the Danish artist Thomas Dambo. Today, we're visiting one named Jacob Two Trees. Made entirely from recycled wood pellets, Jacob Two Trees stands about 14 feet tall and is one of 6 giant trolls installed across the Pacific Northwest. A local tribe has actually helped care for him since his installation. Next, we made our way into Seattle for a quick stop at a local dealership to grab a souvenir before heading south around the Sound towards Tacoma. Frankly, I was so excited to stop somewhere along the Sound and sightsee, but the traffic and construction was just overwhelming. One thing I didn't expect was the busyness of Tacoma. As semis clogged the intersections, I became a little nervous. I'm not sure how I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but Tacoma is one of the busiest deep water ports. It's a major hub for importing cars, lumber, and bikes. We mostly just needed gas, but saw there was another dealership nearby, so yes, we stopped and grabbed a poker chip. From here, we were in the home stretch. We hopped on Highway 16 to head north towards Highway 101, up and around Olympic National Park towards our next destination. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy these bridges. Gosh, they're so immense and beautiful, and the views across the water, I'm in love. Now that we had made it to the Pacific Northwest, we took our time to make stops, take pretty pictures, and see all the things that this area had to offer us. We still crushed a lot of miles, but it was nice to not feel so rushed. was about this time that we decided we should probably stop and book a hotel. So we found this beautiful pull-off where we got to stretch our legs and call around to some local hotels at our destination. Highway 101 hugs the edge of the Olympic Peninsula and was constructed on old logging and mining roads. It's amazing how quick you go from sprawling urban city to lush green forests with moss-covered bridges and trees. This is an area I would love to come back to. Every sign we passed for the entrance into the park sparked my curiosity. I have a background of hiking and climbing mountains, including submitting a handful of Colorado's 14,000-foot peaks. What's that saying? The mountains are calling and I must go? Yeah, there's still a little bit of that in me. Eventually, we rounded a corner and had the most incredible view. Lake Crescent is the second deepest lake in Washington, with an official depth of 624 feet. The crystal clear blue-green waters are nitrogen poor, which limits algae growth and allows for visibility down to 60 feet or more on calm days. This, coupled with the mountains in the background, it was absolutely jaw-dropping. Lake Crescent is also home to unique fish, including the Beardsley trout and the Crescent cutthroat trout, which are found nowhere else on Earth. There are even underwater Douglas fir and cedar trees that are preserved because of the cold, nitrogen-poor water. This is another one of those places where I could have stayed for hours, mesmerized by the rippling waves. "35 miles later, riding through lush green forests, we channeled our inner twihard as we entered into the town of Forks, Washington. Forks only has a population of about 3,500 people, but it welcomes over 100,000 visitors in a year. This once sleepy logging town gained its fame from the Twilight series by Stephenie Meyer. If you're a big fan, there are plenty of places you can see, such as Bella's Truck, Dr. Cullen's parking spot, and the Swan House. Meyer picked Forks for the setting of her books due to its copious amounts of cloud cover and rain, typically between 120 and 140 inches of rain per year. That's over double what Seattle sees. We booked our stay at the Forks Motel and planned for dinner across the street at the Inn Place before getting settled into our motel room. We'll see you in the morning.